Keep calm and carry on, said no one in World War II, ever. Welcome to Hilarious Helmet History, the show where today's cultural historical misconceptions are even sillier than my helmet. Today I'm wearing a World War II aviator helmet because we're talking about the #1 symbol of Britain in World War II. Not Winston Churchill being badass, not this famous photo of a London cathedral surviving Hitler's bombs, and not a mashup of those two things, which I made us pay someone to Photoshop for my amusement. No, I'm talking about Keep Calm and Carry On, the classy poster that inspired Britain to stand strong against the Nazis, except no, it didn't, not at all. Keep Calm and Carry On wasn't a thing in World War II. Also, the poster's meaning is way darker than you realize, and the only war involving Keep Calm and Carry On is a modern trademark war. First things first, Keep Calm and Carry On was not part of World War II. Even though, yeah, it was designed in 1939, the year Britain declared war on Germany, but what happened is they printed over 2 million Keep Calm and Carry On posters, and then those posters heroically served their country by remaining in storage until the government recycled them unused. You only know about Keep Calm and Carry On at all because a bookstore called Barter Books found a stray old copy in the year 2000. They put it in their window, customers liked it, they started a side business selling new copies and launched a worldwide meme, but until the year 2000, no one remembered this poster existed because it was a weak propaganda message designed for an event that didn't happen. Here's why it was weak propaganda. Past British propaganda relied on direct, strong, specific messages, because that's what works. In World War I, this pointy British poster was so successful, America did its own rip-off version. World War II Britain stuck to that playbook. In his book, The British at War, film historian James Chapman says that by early 1940, British war propaganda used 3 main messages. Message number 1, what Britain is fighting for. Everything from global freedom to stabbing Hitler's creepy, hairy skull. Number 2, how Britain fights. Manufacturing, allies, moxie, etc. And message number 3, the need for sacrifices if the fight is to be won. It asked people to do specific stuff. Help with air defense, put out fires, dig victory gardens, collect bones, in the food leftovers way, not the serial killer way. Point is, effective propaganda asked people to actively help the war, like grown-ups. The text of Keep Calm and Carry On might as well be, we know war is scary, just don't poop your diaper. But despite this poster's stupid, useless message, Britain had big plans for it. Big, dystopian, man in the high castle plans for it. Remember how I said they kept millions of copies of Keep Calm and Carry On in storage? Well, that's because they were stockpiling it as an emergency poster for use in a total military disaster, like a successful German invasion of England type disaster. And in 1939, that looked like Hitler's next move. He'd already overrun Eastern Europe, marched partway into Russia. Also, America was years away from declaring war. And in 1940, Hitler took over Belgium, Holland, France, and came so dramatically close to forcing a British army surrender, there's gonna be a Christopher Nolan movie about it. So Britain printed 3 poster options to prepare for the evil reverse version of D-Day that they thought was around the corner. But Hitler only managed to bomb England from the air, which Britain's cathedrals and people survived. Then the British pounded some black tea, went on the attack starting in North Africa, and went on to use a Soviet, American, and British Commonwealth tag team to win history's version of the WWE Intercontinental Championship. But before that happened, they made this poster for their worst case scenario. So while the text is cutesy, the subtext is horrifying. The subtext is, become a resistance fighter, because Hitler's having a wank in Buckingham Palace. And there's another dystopian layer here. It keeps going down, because while we don't know which British government employee designed Keep Calm and Carry On, we do know who they worked for, the Ministry of Information. The MOI was a wartime branch of British government that ministered information in the sense that it made propaganda and censored the media. That included censoring the anti-Soviet opinions of ace reporter George Orwell. So when Orwell went on to write 1984, he based the book's horrible Ministry of Truth on the real-life Ministry of Information, which means the Keep Calm and Carry On poster's rad and stylish message comes from the organization that inspired the organization that says 2 + 2 = 5. And I know this poster isn't evil, it's not advocating a dictatorship, and you're allowed to like it. Lots of people like it. And so many people like it in modern times, it's developed a real gross business side. Because as writer Maria Bustillos points out in this excellent article for The All, British and European trademark offices are handing out exclusive Keep Calm and Carry On merchandising licenses to whichever random people ask first. Chief among them, trademark squatter Mark Coop, who went on the BBC to tell his country that he owns his country's history and everybody else is ripping him off.
Had I not built this up, they probably would have never heard of it. So I think they're jumping on the back of essentially what I came up with.
This is a show where I wear helmets matching history-based bullshit, and I think I need a helmet of that guy's face. He trademarked Keep Calm and Carry On in 2007, which is 7 years after this bookstore made it a thing. Also, an artist hand-lettered this poster, and by law, the British government owns the copyright on artworks it paid for. But none of that is stopping random dinguses like Crumpet Boy from hogging the royalties for printing Keep Calm and Carry On every item in the history of items. And I mean every item. People are trademarking Keep Calm and Carry On for beer, wine, lube, condoms, and I know almost none of you watching this video discovered Keep Calm and Carry On in condom form. Also, none of you discovered it in lube form because YouTube is impossible to navigate with slippery sex fingies. Point is, you're allowed to like Keep Calm and Carry On. I just think we should stop liking it for being a war hero that it never was. And we should start celebrating Keep Calm and Carry On as the most awesomely weird concept in the history of, well, history and memes and the internet overall, and nightmare alternate timelines where Hitler's armies swept across continents, crushing the world underneath a fascist boot heel. And graphic design. Thanks for watching Hilarious Helmet History. If you want to subscribe, hit the big C in the middle, and if you want to watch more videos, hit them over there. And also, don't forget to hit the notification bell below so YouTube will notify you when we have a new video, and please comment if I should have done the whole video in this goofy voice.